Hi, welcome to my mirror. You know, our mirror is interesting. I use a mirror every time I brush my teeth and wash my face and put on makeup, which I try not to do too much. Um, but when I'm looking in the mirror, I stay separate from me. It's like I'm doing something to someone. It's not really me. I'm not connecting with that person. I'm just doing a task, you know? When I'm building relationships with my grandchildren or my friends, the people that I love and care about, or business associates, or when I'm coaching people, I'm really conscious about not doing a task, but rather really connecting with them, looking into their eyes, watching their body movements, getting to know who they are and what they think and how they feel. I'm connecting with them on a heart level. But it's really a challenge for me to do that with myself, to take the time to look at myself in the mirror, look into my own green eyes, and practice loving compassion and acceptance for who I am. I don't know if any of you have had this experience before, but when I was growing up, I felt like the world, everybody around me must have gotten this magical how-to book, like how to be in a family, how to get along with kids at school, how to have a great neighborhood experience with the kids who lived on my street. And somehow I missed that offering, and I just didn't get it. And what I was witnessing in other families, how other kids played, how other kids got along in school, seemed from my perspective to be completely different than the reality that I was experiencing. Their families seemed to be amazing and full of love and very Norman Rockwell, very much like the Waltons and what I was seeing on television. And the kids at school seemed to all go to the Friday night roller skating rink and do sleepovers and participate in sports. And that was such a different reality than what I was experiencing. And over time, what I made up was that I was a mistake. Like, I understood me, and I thought I was worthy of love, but everybody else obviously didn't. So maybe I would get love and acceptance from another family or a different group of kids. And so I found myself searching and trying to belong to, okay, I'm going to belong with the jocks. Okay, I'm going to go with the freaks. Okay, I'm going to go with the nerds. I'm going to just trying to find where my particular tribe was, that place where I fit in, where I was accepted and loved. I never really found that spot, And later on in life, of course, being a runaway, it did the same thing. I'd move in with different families, and finally, it was like a love-hate relationship with who I am, Um, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I liked me, I loved me, but I really wished that I lived somewhere else, or I was somebody else, or I thought differently. Like, I wish I could change me into someone, some being that was more acceptable so that I could get the love and the acceptance and the belonging that I really longed for. It's at that point where many people, unfortunately, start drinking and drugging and cutting and anorexia or bulimia or leaving their body somehow. I ran away and I was preoccupied and desensitized by trying to survive because that was my path. But there are other ways that kids and young adults, teenagers, try to leave who they are because they find who they are unacceptable. When I look through fashion magazines that, of course, are all airbrushed, this is the standard that society has set for what is acceptable. And every season it's different. Maybe it's long hair, short hair, full lips, thin lips, blue eyes, green eyes, a bigger bottom, a smaller bottom. I mean, it's constantly changing depending on who's trying to sell what. And as young girls who are trying desperately to try to fit in and find their place, if we can't fit into that mold, then we're going to do everything we can to try to change the mold that we're in. And if that doesn't work, we just want to get away, get out of the reality of who and what we are. So like many human beings, it's certainly not gender specific, but like many human beings, I did what I did to try to escape. And I kept thinking that the answer for my own suffering was outside of me. If I could only find the right partner, if I could only find the right group of friends, if I could only get the right job, if I only took the right class, I just felt like the aha button or the electrical current to turn the light on, like I just needed to be plugged in to the right source and somehow I would be illuminated and suddenly I would be acceptable. I would feel love. I would belong. So I did that for decades, decades. If I found the right therapist, if I took the right class, I've taken hundreds of classes, thousands of hours worth of continuing education, rebirthing, Hoffman, the landmark education, how to breathe through the Hendricks weekend experience, and Pia Mellody, and I've read hundreds of books thinking that the answer to my own self-acceptance is out there, the vast canyon, right? And after 4 decades, right, what I've learned is like that Wizard of Oz quote where Gilda the Good Witch tells Dorothy, "You've had the power all along, to go home." And that's my message for today. My message today is the answer to belonging, the answer to getting, how can I get love and acceptance and belonging? How can I feel comfortable in my own skin? How can I be socially acceptable? How can I be happy? There's one place, and I've searched the world. What's that hee-haw song? I searched the world over and thought I found true love. You met and anyway. It's right here. It's been right here all along. Nice words, right? And it's like, okay. There's a part of us that thinks because of the amount of suffering that we've endured, that, there has to be some sort of grandiose gesture. We need to pay a lot of money. We need to suffer. We need to, walk across hot coals to somehow prove worthy for the answer to our suffering, climb some mountain and ask some guru, when really all we have to do, the beginning, it's a process, is stop, look at ourselves in the mirror and say, hi, hi. And then practice simple exercises. Like if you were getting to know somebody, you're on a first date, Hey, who are you? Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm 5 feet tall, $110. I like long walks on the beach and sunsets over the Caribbean, right? the way of getting to know the essential who we are is just simple, like looking into the mirror, looking into your own eyes and saying, I see you. I want to love and accept you the way you are, because maybe you don't. For me, there are things about myself that are just unacceptable, and I feel resentful and angry that I was born with certain things about myself, and I am not accepting reality. As a matter of fact, I am fighting with reality. We won't even go into aging, but I'm fighting reality, and that is a no-win. I mean, that simply is a no-win. A win is accepting, and freedom from suffering is accepting what is, right? So, high toes, high feet, high ankles, high shin, high calf. You know, it's such a simple but powerful process of just stopping long enough from our busy day to acknowledge the body that we live in and to learn the skill to take the venom out of the inner critic. You know, there is a narrator in my head who is like constantly telling me what's wrong with me, constantly showing me where I'm crazy, where I'm deficient, constantly. It takes time, but it is a skill, and since it's a skill, it's learnable to be able to counter that. And the way that you do that, there's lots of ways, a way to do that is to just notice the voice in your head. So when I'm in the mirror and I'm looking into my own eyes and I'm saying, hi, I don't feel 100% comfortable with you, but I want to feel comfortable with you. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. I want to be at peace within me. That's a starting place. And then noticing that yucky voice in our head that says, seriously, this is what you've resorted to? You've given up on therapy and now you're doing self-talk in the mirror. You look like some skit from Saturday Night Live. Hi, I'm Catherine, and people like me, right? I hear that critical voice. I call it what it is, jerk, right? I put it in a balloon, and I let go of the balloon and let it float away. And then I come back to, hi, I want to accept you. I want to love you. I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. And then whenever the negative voice comes in, put it in a balloon, float it away, see you later, thanks for sharing, and let it go. The more time, like any relationships, any building of relationships, the more time that I really stop and try to get relational and get to know this person, this body that my soul lives in, the easier it will become, the more I can do it outside of these little blocked times. The more my self-acceptance and self-love and having compassion for myself. That doesn't mean I'm telling myself, you're perfect, you're 5'9" and blonde hair and blue eyes and, you know, Gazelle has nothing on you. You know, there's no lying, totally lying. There's accepting what is and loving what is. Aging, short, freckles, whatever, my particular constant gray hair, whatever it is about me that I don't like, it's accepting what is. And from that accepting what is and practicing using those skills, the better I feel about me and how it shows up. It's so subtle. How it shows up is I notice that I'm not giving myself such a hard time as often as I used to. Or I don't get so upset if somebody says something or isn't nice or whatever. I notice that there's room in my skin where I'm not so reactive, where it's not so Jerry Springer, where I can have some love and compassion for myself. And the experience of joy and self-love is sweeter. And I don't need to do so much to leave my own consciousness. I don't have to stay so busy. I don't have to be distracted so much. I can actually spend time alone with me, going for a walk by myself, taking myself out for dinner. Not because I'm pathetic and don't have people to do that with, but because I really do enjoy that alone time and enjoy my own company. So, the message for today is learning how to find that home. You're kind of creating that path back home to yourself. And these little exercises to help you along the way get back to home in you. So my wish for you, my wish for everybody, is to feel groovy in your own skin, to find that happiness, that acceptance, that belonging that we seek so desperately outside of ourselves. Right here. So that's the message for today. Good luck. I love you. I want to like you. Bye for now.